Hi friends, welcome back to Black Coffee and Grits. I'm Lisa. This is my channel about CrossStitch. You are joining me today for a mid-year WIP parade. It's going to be lots of fun. There's a lot of craziness going on. I will try my best to be organized, and we're going to have a really good time going through all 45 projects that I have started and in progress. We're going to find categories for things like, what was I thinking? This is the biggest mess. And of course, I will show you the one that I have the least amount of progress on, as well as the dreaded WIP. There's one in here that I just dread going back to. I don't think that there's anything I'm going to UFO, but we may talk about that as we go. We're going to evaluate each project, and I will show you project bags, and I will tell you all the things about the project. I have on the table a gigantic mess right now. I'll be honest with you. It is a gigantic mess. And I have a load of beautiful project bags. They're just, these are all of my spring and summer WIPs that we're going to start with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to fall, my most favorite season of all. And then we're going to go to Christmas winter WIPs. And I'm not sure, probably there is an equal, pretty close to equal amount of spring summer WIPs and big projects, as well as Christmas and fall, like combined. So I think they're pretty much half and half. We'll see. I don't know. I didn't actually count all that up, but I do have notes. I'll have to go back and forth. I think what I'm going to do is pop in still pictures of the patterns because I think that they're easier to see. And I know it requires a bit more editing, but I'm willing to do it for you guys because I love ya. And I love cross-stitch. This is my very favorite hobby. I do also quilt a little bit here and there. Actually just started quilting last year in May, and I've made, let's see, I just finished my 5th quilt top, so coming along. I'm making some things. I'm learning to sew. I've made a few project bags, and those are improving as well. There's always room for improvement, I guess, when it comes to sewing as well as learning to cross-stitch. Some of these WIPs are old, older. Maybe we'll identify the oldest WIP. I think I know which one it is. I think it's also the most dreaded WIP. So the beginning part is going to be a little bit chaotic. We're just going to, I ironed everything, so it's all ironed and beautiful for you. We're just going to kind of hit the piles and go through them, and I'm going to try to match everything back up with its project bag, which may be a little bit, it's a little bit of a mess, I'm not going to lie. But fall and Christmas are separated into their piles respectively very neatly, so we'll just take this first part as it comes. Maybe I won't have to refilm this thing. Okay, I don't know where you are, but it's hot. It's summer, it's fall and summer, it's in bloom. I'm trying my best to enjoy it. I don't love summer. I live in Texas. It's hot. I know most of the country is going through a major heat wave right now, where you're getting into the 100-degree temperatures, and that's pretty much how our summer usually goes. It's been mild. I don't know. I don't even want to say it. It's like, knock on wood, shh, be quiet. Maybe it won't hear us and we can sneak in. And we've had a lot of rain. It's very green. Everything's in bloom. It's beautiful. I'm enjoying the view of my crepe myrtles right now. They're all bloomed. The purple ones, the red ones. I got a lot of flowers still blooming outside, so I'm glad about that. But I know that a lot of the country is in a major heat wave, and I feel for you because I don't love to be hot. And even the pool is just not enough whenever it's that kind of hot outside. It's just not. So bless you if you're going through it. And maybe this will give you some entertainment to watch in the nice, cool air conditioning. That's why I love to cross-stitch. I can stay inside and cross-stitch. Actually, I do love to go outside. Don't get me wrong. I just like to go outside when it's not blazing hot outside. Whew, what a mess. Are y'all ready for this? Because I don't think I am. Okay, what do I want to show you first? I don't even know. I have so many pretty project bags. I think we're just going to plop these in this little bushel basket. This is what I keep my whips in. I actually have two of them. One of them is over here on the other side. I'll grab it in a little while when we do the fall and Christmas whips. I keep those in one bushel basket in the spring, summer. Actually, I kind of usually rotate them around and put like the most current season that I'm working on in the front. I am definitely a seasonal stitcher. And I'm sure you probably have figured that out by now. If you haven't been watching me or you're new, I'll just try to throw in some little tidbits about me along the way. Oh my gosh. I am one of those people that loves to be organized but has a difficult time staying that way. Are you like that? I think part of the fun of cross stitch is that it's easy to like fall down the rabbit hole and to jump from one project to the next. I know there are people out there that are monogamous stitchers. I think maybe early on when I very first started cross stitching, I was a monogamous stitcher. At that point, I was stitching mostly like birth samplers and things like that that I started for my nieces and nephews and then later for my son. But then after all the kids had birth samplers, I was like, well, what do I want to stitch now? Because, you know, and then it just opened the floodgates, of course, whenever I went into the cross stitch shop. So I'm looking at my notes. Let's just go ahead and get out of the way the most dreaded whip and the oldest whip and the whip with the ugliest project bag. I'm going to show you all this, okay? The project is still in the bag that it came in. It was a kit. It is from, and I said I was going to pop in pictures of the patterns, but this one I probably won't be able to find because this shop is no longer in business, sadly, but this was a shop up in Michigan, up in the Detroit area where my husband and my sister-in-laws both still live there, but my husband is from that area, so we go there and visit pretty often. But this was a cute little shop called the Rocking Horse, and they did these patterns, and I picked up several of their kits, and this one I am still working on. And this is why it's dreaded. They were really fun kits. They came with like everything you needed to stitch, as well as the finishing piece. So I've got this awesome wooden frame here. But I didn't realize that I don't love beading. So this kit has beads, and also it had some floss that was, I don't even know where the floss is gone, but it had some floss that was awful to work with because it was almost like tinsel, okay? So that was part of the reason why I was dreading it and not stitching on it. So I went and got some DMC, and I think, yeah, it looks like I have gone in and stitched one element with that DMC because I wanted to see if I was going to like it. So, this little part in the center here is actually done in that metallic thread. So, yeah, this is my most dreaded whip because I'm dreading putting on the beads, and then obviously I ran into a snag with the floss and not loving that. I'm sitting here looking at it. Yeah, I did. So I had to frog, which is always an ugly four-letter word. I know no one in cross stitch loves to frog. Sometimes it's necessary though. But I think this is a fun whip, and I say a fun whip. It's not a fun whip. That's an outright lie. I'm dreading going back to this. But I think the project is super cute. And maybe what I need to do is simplify it a bit with the beads. I don't know. It looks like there's a lot more to go. Okay, maybe someone needs to give me a challenge to get back to this one. What does it take to get you motivated? Sometimes I need a friend to push me. Okay, maybe you guys can push me. ugliest project bag. Maybe it needed a cute project bag and then I want to pick it up more. I don't know. I don't know what the secret sauce is. The next project I'm going to show you is one that could be finished pretty quickly, but it's not. It is, I said I was going to pop in pictures of all these charts. Have I done that yet? No, I haven't. This is State Fair by Little House Needleworks, and I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count bramble by Picture This Plus, and you are going to see a lot of bramble in my stash today. A lot of whips are being stitched on bramble because I bought a whole yard of this fabric, and I do love it. I think it's a great fabric. 32 count is my jam. It's my sweet spot. It's where I really like to stitch, but I have whips all over the place, so I'll try to do a good job of saying that I'm stitching 2 over 2, but I didn't say any of that on that other whip with the Patriotic Kaleidoscope because I don't know. Since it was a kit, it was linen, but I think it was like, I don't know if it was 32 count or not, probably something like that. I like to stitch on linen. It's probably my favorite fabric, but I do bounce around. So I have some Ada projects. I have some Lugana, a little bit of this and that, some even weaves. So back to this though, State Fair. I intended to stitch this and enter it in the State Fair. Has that happened? No, it has not. I don't know why. I don't know why. This was actually going along super fast, and then I just lost interest in it for whatever reason. I did choose my own colors for this. Basically just picked up the pattern and chose flosses that were similar to what was called for as far as what the picture looked like, just using what was in stash. So it looks like I've got a mix of some classic Colorworks, some Weeks Dye Works, some Gentle Art, Color and Cotton, and I do put details for color conversions up on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram and you're interested in a color conversion, just ask me. It's boring for me to go through every single one of these colors and call it out. I only really do that if I'm doing a kit parade, because otherwise the videos will be, especially with 45 whips, 1.5 miles long. 1.5 miles, maybe 200 miles long. I don't know. Very long. But some pretty flosses, and I'm happy to share those with you. If you are interested in them, just ask. You can message in the comments, or you can email me. In the show notes, all the details for how to find me. Over on Instagram, I am Black Coffee and Grits, so that's pretty easy to find. Okay, so that's State Fair. I just threw some of my notes into the floor. Some of my jokes that I had written down, my funny categories. I said I was going to put these things away as I went, but I kind of want to take some more photos for you guys to put up on Instagram, so I think I'm just going to make a pile until we can't make a pile anymore. Okay, but I didn't show you the bag for State Fair because it's just a plain old boring bag from Container Store. Actually, this is one from Amazon. I like the ones from Container Store better, personally. Okay, so that was State Fair. All right, this is going to go into the category of what the heck was I thinking. It's really cute, don't get me wrong, but I adopted this whip. I'm looking for the project bag because it is a kit. It is a kit from Just CrossStitch. I don't think I'm showing anything I'm not supposed to show. This company right here, Just CrossStitch Kits. And it's adorable. It's called Color Blocks, Mickey and the Gang. And I actually saw someone else who was just, I think someone who was at StitchCon had stitched this up on like a sweatshirt, and it was so stinking cute, which probably would inspire me to keep going on this. But when I say what the heck was I thinking, someone came into one of the sit and stitches that I was hosting at a local library, and she was like, hey, I've gotten this far on this and I'm giving up and I want it to go to someone who will stitch it. So basically I felt like I needed to adopt this WIP, but she handed it off to me, and there are some stains on the fabric as well as some lines where it's been folded because this is a stiffer Aida. I'm struggling a little bit to get those lines out. So if you have any pro tips, or ideas. I'm not too worried about the stain because I think that will easily frame out if I end up framing it. Oh, I saw it on that shirt and it was so stinking cute. But the other thing about this, I don't love back stitching. And there was one of these blocks was already outlined with back stitching. It probably was Daisy because she's the most complete. And I picked it out because I was like, I am not going to backstitch around every single one of those blocks. And I think it looks more modern without that backstitching. So I'm trying to get away with as little backstitching as possible. But with these characters, obviously, there is some that is like an absolute must. Like their hair and around their eyes. And it's a lot. So send help. I guess I just need to keep going back and looking at the picture of the FFO'd one because that's inspirational. This is another thing that I don't love about kits. And this is true about all the kits, no matter, I think, who makes the kits, is they just give you this like wad of floss to deal with. And it's overwhelming, and I don't like that. And nothing is labeled. Now, when I get these kits and I don't adopt them, well, let's don't tell lies. We're gonna get to my kit that I have when we get to the Christmas section, my Mill Hill piece and we can talk all about how well that's going for me. It's not going well. I need another pep talk there. Okay. Let me show you something that I am excited about. Something that I absolutely love, okay? Because we've talked about icky things so far. And this, I love everything about. This, I'll pop in a picture of, is My Heart's Design by Blackbird Designs. And I changed the fabric color. The fabric that I'm stitching this on is a piece of 30 count Week Styleworks C is the color. And I know I'm a freak when it comes to this. I love, like I said, to stitch on larger counts of fabric, as well as I love shifty linen. I know a lot of people don't. They like their fabric to be more rigid. I don't know what it is about it. I just love how soft it is. Sometimes I think when my stitches aren't perfect, it just gives it a bit more of a vintage look. So I just love stitching on 30 count. And I know I'm pretty much in a category, mostly probably by myself there, but that's okay. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. So I did choose to use mostly the called for colors on this piece, with the exception of I'm finding the project back. There's one floss that I swapped out. The floss that I swapped out, I did it because the original piece is stitched on a light color fabric. I say the original piece, the model. The model is stitched up on a lighter colored tan fabric, and so the accent color in it is almost the color of the fabric that I chose. So I did choose this Brethren Blue by Gentle Arts. to replace that sort of lighter sage green so that it would pop on this fabric. And I love how it's turning out. This one's really fun. I started this around Valentine's Day, and I made this project bag, so it's super cute. I made it out of some leftover quilt fabric that I had from a quilt kit that I ended up finishing, and then I've got this cute little needle minder that's metal that looks like a stamp, almost like a post. What's this thing called? A postage stamp that just says love. And a friend gave that to me, so I'm not sure where it came from. Oh, it says Fat Quarter Shop. So it came from the Fat Quarter Shop, as well as the kit that this fabric was in also came from Fat Quarter Shop, but it's been a long time, so I don't think that's available any longer. Again, I won't know all the details. When you're going through 45 projects, it's just impossible to remember it all or to even make notes on it all, so please just ask me if you have questions. I really don't mind. Okay, so that's my heart's design. Ooh, I love it so much. And I love having like crisply ironed projects. Oh, it just looks so pretty. I wish that they would just stay that way, but we have to fold them to put them in the bags. But I do want to take some pictures for you guys for Instagram, so I'm going to put these to the side. Seems super dangerous to lay them on the floor, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, what else do I have here? I have some major honkers. Do you guys know what a honker is? A honker is a big, big project. One of the honkers, I've also affectionately called them BAPs. If you don't know what that is, it's not very nice, but it's a really big project. This one, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? This is Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers. Oh, how did I fall down this rabbit hole with the people? Because it's amazing when it's all stitched up and finished, but it is a gigantic project. In fact, how many pages is it? I have this in one of my favorite bags. This is a Alice in Wonderland bag that I got from Stitchy Sassenach. It's got all the things. It's terrifying how big this project is. It's 20 pages. The pattern is 20 pages. I have finished one of the 20 pages. This is supposed to be my leap year start. Will I be able to finish it in 4 years? I don't know. I loved this fabric mostly, and I don't even know what this fabric is. It is a mystery piece of overdyed Aida. I bought it at a D-Stash sale, and I love it, and it's actually really what inspired me to stitch it because I just loved the colors so much. And I went and picked out DMC number 29 to stitch this monochromatically. Stitching it on 20 count Aida, so it is just one strand of floss. And remember what I said? I don't love stitching with one strand of floss. I know, I'm a bit abnormal in that department too, because I hear so many of my friends saying how much they love stitching with just one strand. It's not my favorite. So I have been giving myself homework, and I don't really love to schedule my fun. If you'll ask my friend Michelle, she will tell you that. But on these big projects, I have been assigning myself 2 days a month to stitch on them just so that I can make some progress. So I'm stitching on this Pandemic, the 1st and the 29th. And I've made some progress. I'm nowhere near 2 pages in. And if I do some math, I'm not going to finish it in 4 years. It's just not going to happen. I think what I've wrapped my head around, though, is that instead of just FFOing it, it's just to keep stitching it on it. And I've seen so many friends take cross-stitch and make them into like wonderful things. Like instead of just completely UFOing something as far as like giving up on it and not stitching it or giving it away, turning it into something else. And I'm not opposed to that, but I'm not at that point yet where I'm ready to quit. So hang with me and see how long and how far I get. I don't know. I've seen people finish it. It's possible. It is so hot that I must take in some water. Okay. What do I want to show you next? I'm just going to grab this because it is next on the stack. I know there's a cute little project bag for this. So this is one of the project bags I was talking about from Container Store. It's made out of a sturdier vinyl, and I like the way that it feels. It's smoother. And I have a cute little zipper pull on there that my friend Brooke gave me from Stitch by the Brook. Okay, so this bag has some of my Primrose Cottage patterns in it. I like doing these smalls for dough bowls, and I started this project as a SAL. I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm all over the place, so I guess just welcome to the show. That's just how things go. But if there's anything that you want to stitch along with me on, I kind of keep the hashtag Black Coffee and Grits SAL open for anything. I know you can't follow hashtags anymore, but you can still go and search them. So it's still fun to do that. And I find a lot of inspiration on Instagram with hashtags. Whenever I start stitching something, or I'm kitting something up, if I don't know what kind of fabric I want to stitch it on, or maybe I'm thinking about changing colors, I will go and search it up on Instagram and just see what other people have done. I always find great inspiration there, and I love finding finishing ideas there too. So I don't think I have all the hashtags written down in my notes, but I will list all the hashtags that I'm using for SALs. This was just a personal SAL. I was stitching this along with Melissa, and so it was just like a friend and friend thing. But anyone can join us. She's actually already finished hers, but I'm going to keep going on this one. It's St. Patrick's Day Quaker. Love all these little Quakers from Primrose Cottage stitches, and this is the progress I've made on it. I did start this on a piece of just tea-dyed Monaco. I believe this is 30, this is probably 28 count. No label, so couldn't swear to that. I did pull colors that were, some that were called for and some that were just in stash because I kitted this up quickly to stitch along with her. So some are the DMCs, some are one of them's Classic Colorworks because I didn't have the color in cotton. I think some of them have also been borrowed from this project bag. Do you guys do that? It happens. Leaving all these out so I can take fun photos. Okay. Trying to not make tons of noise with zippers. That's hard to do too. I guess when you're watching a kit parade, you maybe just expect it. Is that true? Let me show you this. I don't have a big start on this, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. So, this is, I'll pop in a picture because the pattern I have is old, and it's tiny, and it's not a great picture. Am I even going to remember what this is called? This is, come on Lisa, you can do this. Brown Swiss Dairy by Told in a Garden. I got it. Aren't you all so proud of me? So this is stitched on a piece of Blue Ridge by Atomic Ranch. It's a 28 count linen, and I love it. A lot of times I find the linen is what, like, when I see the linen, I'm like, ooh, it's my jumping off point. Sometimes I do change colors, and for this particular project, I did change colors. The reason why, and I'm going to show you this project bag that this is in because it's adorable. The reason why I changed the colors is because, remember I was telling you it's a really old project. This is the little card that was in the pattern, and I actually just put it on my floss. So the colors are a bit dated. I'll just say it, okay? Because I think a lot of these, and I'm not going to really show the pattern, but the pattern is literally like, it's like a gigantic piece of paper that's folded up. And it's like back in the day when they would hand chart things, and things were on grid paper. Yeah, so I actually started coloring in some of the chart because I was having a difficult time seeing the differences in the symbols. I think because it's just not as a high quality paper. It could be just the age too. Maybe the ink is fading a bit, but I wanted to change the colors and update them and make them a bit brighter, more vivid. I think that's what I was shooting for. So looks like I've got quite a few color and cotton flosses here and some classic Colorworks. Those are pretty much go-tos. I love stitching with overdyes. They're my favorite. But when you start doing a giant color conversion, especially on something like this, sometimes you run into, oh, well, that didn't come out like I thought it was going to. So it's a bit more time consuming stitch. It's not just grab the floss and go and put the symbols, put the colors and the symbols where they go. Okay, back to this adorable bag I was going to show you. This is a project bag straight from the Heart by Sue. I picked this up at the Color and Cotton store, their shop up in St. Louis area, Missouri. Love going there. The shop is adorable. The people who run it are amazing. They're so good about helping, and they carry these project bags there. Very well made. The vinyl is like thick vinyl, and they always have these cute tassels on them with a cute little charm. Very well made. I usually pick one up whenever I'm there. So I have a tree on this giant project. Would we call this a BAP? It's getting close. I don't know exactly what the requirements for that is. It is 140 by 172. Maybe not. It doesn't sound as big whenever you say it out loud like that. Okay, so what else was I going to tell you? I don't know. I need to pick this up some more. I really like it, and I want to stitch on it. And I told you it was 28 count, so it's 2/2 stitching. See, I'm really bad about saying that. I'll probably just not remember to say it unless it's 1/1 or 1/2. And I probably said 1/2 when I was talking about Ada earlier, and it was really 1/1. So I'll just really mess that up. Forgive me. No one said I was perfect. Okay. This is another really dreaded project. But I'm going to own it. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you about Told in the Garden. There is a stitch along going on with those projects. The hashtag is TIAG with friends, and that was started by Missy of 2 Needles Pulling Thread and Joy of the Carolina Stitchers. And so you should stitch along on that one. TIAG with friends. This also has a hashtag. It is not very nice. Hashtag Lisa made us do it. I don't really think it was completely my fault, but maybe it was. Does this have a cute project bag? It has a fishing bag. I'm not sure this really goes with the theme of the project, but I bought this fishing bag at the retreat where we started this project, which was Stitching Bee up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So my table mates, most of them started this with me because we went to the Silver Needle, and there's a model of this up at the Silver Needle, and it's incredible. Okay, it's not all my fault. I fell in love with it, I will admit, but I didn't twist any arms. People, they raised their hands when I said who wants a chart, and they took the charts, and then we went and we bought the floss for this. And then, gulp, we realized there is a boatload of backstitch in this. I mean, a boatload. Kitted it up with all the DMCs. It looks like they're mostly on floss drops. They look to be in pretty good shape. It's a pretty color palette. There are some pinky reds, some brighter reds. There's this really pretty, this is like, if you ask me what my favorite color is, you're gonna see me gravitate to this color right here a lot. This kind of sagey green. I also love orange. I love all color. Let's don't lie, but I do gravitate toward that color a lot. So this is a really pretty color palette. It is a gigantic chart. It's patriotic. It's gonna be amazing when it's all said and done. I decided to stitch mine on Ada. This is 18 count. One more reproduction Ada. So I'm stitching it with just one strand of floss. Whoopsie. Let me see if I can. This is a big piece of fabric. I haven't cut it yet. I have a tendency to not cut my fabric until I'm like 100% committed and I know how like wide or how long it is. I guess I'm a fraidy cat. I don't know. Maybe I'm lazy and I don't want to do the math. Maybe I don't trust myself to do the math. I'm not sure. But I think we'll find that on these projects that are Ada projects and they're one strand, I'm kind of stalled out on them because I think I just, don't enjoy stitching on with one strand. And B, I don't know, this just has a lot of backstitch. So looky there. That block is completely finished. It's just very dense. And when you've committed with a whole group of people to stitch this, you don't want to give up on it. But I think what I'm going to do is I did complete the Delaware block. It is completely done. But I think before I do any more backstitching, I just want to go in and do some more, maybe 2 or 3 more blocks and just see what they look like without all that backstitching. Because remember I told you at the beginning of the video, I don't like backstitching. I just don't. It's a dirty word. Add that to your one-liners. Backstitch is a dirty word. Okay. I will try to say, ooh, sorry about that. I will try to not bump the table with my knee again. Maybe I'll edit that out. I will try to say the names of the bag makers if I know who they are. This one, I know I purchased it at the Stitch Niche at their booth in Tulsa at the Stitching Bee, but I don't know who made the bag. So, and sadly, the Stitch Niche has closed. That was my local needlework shop. My dog wants to bark. I'm trying to give him a minute to see if he's really going to do it or not. I have Chihuahuas. They tend to bark. I guess all dogs tend to bark a little bit. But sadly, the Stitch Niche, the ladies were decided to retire this year. So I don't know what I would consider my LNS now. I mean, 1, 2, 3 stitches in my backyard basically, but as far as like a place that I can go, maybe the closest is going to be either the Silver Needle or the Tinsmith's Wife. Love those two shops. Really great shops. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is so pretty. This might be the fabric that lights me up the most. I don't know. I had so much fun getting all these projects. I was like, what have I done with those clothespins? Okay, this, you know, I'd like to know the stats on how many projects I have by each designer. Maybe I'll add that up and put it in somewhere. So this is in a Teresa Kogut bag that's very springy. It's an Easter bag. This bag came from Sheba Designs. She has an Etsy shop. Love her bags. Very well made. She's in Canada, but they do ship out quickly. So this is God is Good by Teresa Kogut, the project that's in the bag. Am I going to get this out? I think I am. Flosses are looking a little ratty-tatty. These are all, looks like weak Styleworks flosses, overdyes. I do this. I make these little rat's nests. This is a confession. I do this. I'm embarrassed to confess it, but it's the truth. I have friends that have tried to teach me a better way. I've tried to learn a better way. I revert back to making little nests. So, I picked this chart up and I love it. I think it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. But I was intimidated because this is almost full coverage. All that grass is supposed to be stitched. I could not stitch all that grass without losing my mind. So I found this. I found this beautiful piece of fabric. I was actually traveling, popped into a shop in Indy. My wheels are turning. Cranberry Bog Cottage. Good thing for the notes. It is the cutest shop. I went there on my way to StitchCon a couple years in a row, and maybe on my way to Stitch Away as well. It's a great shop. But this fabric, I saw it in there and I was like, oh yes, please, I need that. It's mine. It is a piece of seraphim linen, 32 count, and every time I show this, I struggle with the name, and I have to go and look it up because the little tag was a piece of paper that was pinned onto it with a straight pin, and I took it off because, you know, okay, I'm going to show you these flosses for a second. We're going to talk about how lovely this is and how the fabric, I'm not going to stitch any of that background, and maybe I can think of the name of the fabric while we're oodling over it. So I am using all the called for flosses. They're all weak Styleworks. They're this is very dense stitch. I wanted to stitch that rooster so bad, so I usually start in the top left corner, but I started in the bottom right corner because I want to stitch that rooster so bad. So there he is. Okay, have I thought of the name of this fabric? No, I have not. I have to go look at my notes. Okay, I apologize. I just try so hard to remember all things, but I can't. I can't always remember all things. This is Water Spirit by Seraphim, and it's, like I said, it's just beautiful. And it was a jumping off point for me because I was like, ooh, I can not stitch all that grass. So I can't wait to get back to this. I know that's something that people say a million times in WIP parades. Or they say, ew, I'm dreading this, because I've said that a few times too. I'm dreading getting back to this, but this I'm looking forward to getting back to. I love it. I think it's so pretty. I shouldn't put it away. I should just start stitching on it. Okay, I have quite a pile on the floor, and I'm okay with it. They're so pretty. Do you ever just get your stuff out and you're just like, you want to pet it? It's so pretty. I love it all. Okay. It looks like I was making a pile of project bags over here. And that probably helps make it easier whenever I am looking for the next bag. Okay, I know exactly what this is. And this is beautiful. This is Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs, and it's in a pig bag. This is a cute little piggy bag, one I picked up from Stitch Niche. I am going to miss that L&S. Okay. Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Design. It's a beautiful chart. I kitted this one up with all the called for colors. It's a mix of Week Styleworks, Gentle Arts, and classic Colorworks flosses, and they're just beautiful. And I am stitching mine on 32 count vellum by Picture This Plus. And making progress. Got this out in the spring, as I said I would. And I just love all the colors in this. And I really can't wait to get to the bird. The flowers are beautiful, but I think the bird is my very favorite part of this chart. So, a lot of these, you know, what I realized I love about CrossStitch is that it's not a hurry. I mean, yeah, sometimes you want to hurry and get something stitched, or you're just over it, but it's a very slow process, right? It takes a while to get like everything all completed. And I don't like to hurry. I've learned that about myself. I really don't like to hurry. My mom would probably laugh and say that I have been that way my whole life. And it's probably true. Okay, this is another what was I thinking? I know what I was thinking. I think it's beautiful. And I just sort of lost my mind for a minute whenever I picked it out. What is this? This is in a penny and toonie bag with really cute fabric. Penny and Toonie are on Etsy. They have great bags as well. This is Peacemaker by Teresa Kogut. And I will pop in a picture of the chart because I have this in the plastic sleeve. And I want you to be able to see it. It's lovely. So I fell in love with this because it's amazing. It is almost full coverage, as is a lot of Teresa Kogut. Look at her face. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look at that. I fell in love with this fabric. This fabric is a piece of Cranberry Crush Ada by Forbidden Fiber Co. Picked it up while I was shopping at, oh goodness, what is that cute little shop? It is in Ohio. It is going to make me nuts if I can't remember the name of that cute little shop. Craft Gallery. I love it when it comes to me. I like to go to Craft Gallery when I'm going to StitchCon. They have beautiful fabrics. They have a lot of great models in their shop. It's just a wonderful shop. But picked up this piece of fabric there, but I actually picked up the chart for the pattern at the Silver Needle because they have the models of this angel series there, and they're amazing. I mean, the detail on the face is incredible. It is a lot of confetti stitching, so that's where the what was I thinking part came in. I chose to do this as a length stitch, So I started this Fat Tuesday, and I stitched one strand a day through the Lent season. And then I just decided that she and I needed a little break from each other. But I want to get back to this. It's beautiful. It was a grind, don't get me wrong, but it's a really lovely grind. And I'm just amazed at how, like, there's blue in there by her eyes, and like all the colors that come together to make this piece what it is. Like you just, I mean, it's like this turquoisey green and this bright blue and blacks and dark greens, and all of this like melds together. I mean, it's truly art, truly. We all know Teresa Kogut is an amazing artist. Okay, so what do we have next? I didn't show you all of the floss for that. I also don't know what count I'm stitching that on. It didn't have a label on it. The flosses are all DMCs. I should go back to this for just a second. Let's back up the ship just a minute. Okay, the boat. Are we riding a ship or are we in a boat? I don't know. It's a little rocky. Maybe it's a boat. Okay, so these are all DMCs, and I was talking to you about how beautiful it is, and it is. It's so beautiful. The way that the colors come together, and all of the blending of the colors. However, I said it's a ton of confetti, so I am going to try to find a floss for her shirt that is variegated. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. But this color right here, I'm going to use for the angel wings, and this floss. It's not a color. It is a blend of fabric or floss. It's really fun. This is hand dyed by Rwanda. It was in a subscription box I get from the Black Needle Society. It's like a surprise box that comes every 2 months. I'm gonna give it a go. I do not want it to be a compromise, so we'll see. If I think it's a compromise, then I'll stop being a baby and I'll tough it out and I'll do the confetti stitches. But I think it might just work out perfectly. So I'm hopeful. Only because I just, I think you learn things about yourself too as you're stitching, like what you like and what you don't like. And that's okay. This is going to be a long video. I guess what do you expect from a WIP parade? Everybody expects a WIP parade to be long. I guess I do anyways. Okay. I'm feeling chatty today. But I guess that's okay. I want to show you this next. It's the next one on the pile, and it is the most beautiful piece of fabric. I told you I'm a sucker for the fabrics. Okay, so this is in a beautiful bag from Mystic Meadow Creations. Maria at Mystic Meadow Creations makes these, and I'm laughing at my needle minder. My needle minder is on here. It says Kiss My Grits. She is from Mad for Minders. I love to get needle minders from Mad for Minders. They're on Etsy too. Picked up this chart. Actually, one of us picked up this chart at Brooke, Michelle, and I went on a adventure down to the Tinsmith's Wife, and we decided we wanted to stitch something together, and this is what we chose. M.Satterhwaite, a Quaker sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. And I think that Brooke and Michelle were attracted to this swan. I was just attracted to it because it's a black sampler, and I want to do a black sampler wall. Black coffee and grits. Black coffee is my favorite black, so I'm stitching mine with black coffee on this beautiful piece of opal linen by Picture This Plus. And it's just, again, it's usually the fabric is the jumping off for me. So when I saw this fabric, I was like, oh, that's it. Stitching it with, it's 32 count, so I'm stitching it 2/2 with black coffee by Classic Colorworks. And I just have that one motif in there, but It's beautiful, and I love it so much. Definitely want to get back to this one. I don't know. I have to check in with my girlfriends and see how far along they are. I think Michelle started hers over, and she is my friend Michelle that I'll talk about all the time. She has a Flosstube too. It's called Making It with Michelle. I think Michelle started hers over with silks, and I think she's already gotten to the second motif. Brooke, Stitch by the Brook, also a YouTuber, Flosstuber. I don't know if she's come back around to this project yet. Totally okay. Totally okay. We don't have to schedule all our fun. Okay, but I'm about to have an avalanche. So rather than an avalanche, we're gonna set this on the floor. Okay, there's lots of big pieces of fabric, so big projects ahead. This is another part of my black sampler series. Oh my gosh, the fabric is just beautiful. Look at this piece of linen. Okay, this is a piece of mystery linens. I don't know what it is. I picked it up at the Silver Needle, and it didn't have a label on it when I got home. It just said 32 count. No, it's 28 count. 28 count linen. I wish I knew what it was because I love it so much. It lives in this chicken bag right here. Love this chicken bag. This is a Stitching with the Westies project bag. Super cute. Looks like I've got another Mad Reminders. This is the Queen from Alice in Wonderland. Off with Their Heads. Needle minder. Love that movie. So this is, I'll probably pop in a picture of this too. Blackbird Sampler by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. And I just loved this sampler. And I'm stitching it with black coffee, of course. 2/2. Oh no, have I just put a wrinkle in this? I may have. I love the fabric. And it's coming along just beautifully. I want to get back to this too. Oh, I adore it. I like stitching on 28 count sometimes. It's kind of nice to just like not need readers or a magnifier. I'm having to start a second pile. The pile is big. Oh, these look so good, all crisply ironed. Okay, this project was also started with Brooke on the same trip. And she made me this lovely and adorable project bag for it. And a project with a big old honker of a house needs a house bag, don't you think? Let's see. Oh, the flosses are so pretty for this. And they're not all ratty because I haven't rattied them up yet. You want to know what this is. And I misspoke when I showed this previously. This is Paradise Found Sampler. I'm going to pop in a picture because, again, I want you to be able to really see it. So this is Paradise Found Sampler by Riverdrift House Needlework. And let me show you where I've gotten. I fell in love with this because of that big old house and the deer and the colors. The colors are so fresh and just springy and unusual and bright. All fan out to the DMCs. They're all DMCs. Stitching it on a piece of 32 count Bramble by Pictures Plus. I told you I have a lot of Bramble in here. I love Bramble. And started on the border. And I need to get back to this because it's lovely and it's going to be with me a while. Do we need to make homework out of this? Like I said, I really don't like to schedule my fun. hard. There's just so many. There's so many beautiful things to stitch. So many things we want to stitch. And I think I have been guilty more this year of starting a lot more things than I have in the past. I don't know why. Beautiful bag alert. This is from Sheba Designs. This is my anniversary start. My anniversary stitch. This is Love Never Fails by Barbara Anna Designs. And I'm stitching it with all the called for flosses except I subbed out black coffee for the 310. I do that a lot. This is stitched on, I believe this is 32 count Seraphim biscuit. Pretty sure. And look at these DMCs. They're just beautiful. I love all the colors in this. These are not necessarily my wedding colors, but they're definitely colors I love. I love this color right here. And the teal. It's so good. Okay, let me hold it up so you can see how far I've gotten. So, this year was my 15-year anniversary. So I thought I needed to stitch something to commemorate 15 years. And we had the verse Love Never Fails read at our wedding. So my mom had that verse hanging in our house when I was a kid. It was on this, I remember it was like a piece of glass with pressed flowers in it. I wonder if she still has that. I feel like she does. I feel like I hung it up in our house when she moved again. Uh-oh. Beautiful. I have some absolutely lovely linens. Okay, this is another project that is stitched on Bramble. No surprise there because I bought a full yard of this fabric. Okay, so I don't actually have, this was a PDF download. This is in a project bag made by me. I made this before we went on our trip to Africa. This year we went to Africa. That was our big family trip. I have been wondering where these were. This is why it's good to go through project bags. Needle minder from Mad for Minders. It's too peoply outside. This is a go-to. It's often too peoply outside for me. Africa was amazing. I can't say enough about that trip. We had a lovely time. I picked this chart out on Etsy to commemorate our trip. It is called, what is it called? African Safari. That's just too easy. African Safari, and I'll pop in a picture of it. I fell in love with all the colors. One of the most memorable parts about Africa were the sunsets. So the fact that this kind of mimics a sunset, it's just perfect. Got started on it a little bit before we left. Put in a few stitches, not very many. And then I stitched on it quite a bit while we were there. I couldn't stitch every day because we had so many things to do. But look at that bright green and those yellows and the oranges and the purples. And I can't wait to get down to the bottom. The purples. Love it, love it. 2/2. Did I say that? Probably not. I told you the fabric. Whew. Probably going to have to finish the spring, summer, and take a little break before I record the fall and winter. Okay, what is this? This is in another cute little project bag made by me. I love a good farm animal. This is a project I'm stitching along with Brooke. We stitched the companion piece last year together. So this year we're stitching. So the name of this pattern is Farm and Fold Penny Cushions. But I realized after saying it wrong a number of times that we stitched the Folk Bouquet pillow last year. This is Here a Peep, There a Peep. That's what we're stitching now. And Brooke, she gave me these adorable floss drops. And she kitted this up for me, and she did like a little color conversion to just DMCs. And I love how this bunting is turning out. I'm stitching this on 32 count fiber on a whim. No, I'm telling lies. 32 count color and cotton sugar cookie. Let me just throw the floss on the floor. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. Sugar cookie. I was in the Floss Club with Color and Cotton for a long time, and also in their fabric club, so I have a lot of their fabric. It's really nice linen. So 2/2 on that one, and I love that sweet spot, and I love the way those stitches look on the 32 count. Nice and bold. That was a retreat start. Sometimes I find that like after the retreat is over, I have trouble getting back to stuff I started at retreats. I don't know why. I think I just have a lot of projects, and that's, I guess, okay. I mean, it's just part of the game. Okay, let me show you this. It's a kit. Ooh, and the project bag is over here. It's got a cute little project bag. This is the Sandlot from Forbidden Fiber Co. Forbidden Fiber Co. And this was a kit. However, I didn't love the fabric that came with the kit because to me, the yellow was not showing up on it. So I grabbed this piece of Cottage stone from Color and Cotton. That was in my stash, and it's a 32 count, and it's gray, so the yellow is really popping off of it. So I've just been doing kind of one little, I guess, motif, if you want to call it that, while I'm watching baseball. I love baseball. It's a really funny movie. If you've never seen it, even if you don't just love baseball, you'll still think it's cute. It's set in the 50s. It's like the good old days. I love those kinds of movies. So the flosses are all from the kit. And so I'm just using the called for flosses. Look at this. This is a mess. Oh my gosh. Is this my most messy kit? I don't know. You might say the one that had the big ball of floss in it is the most messy kit. I don't know. Are we judging that? Maybe we should. There's a cute little needle minder on this that came in the kit too. It says Hercules. That is the dog from the movie. So that's a fun stitch. I think I have quite a pile. Let's see. I was about to say this is my most recent start, but that is not true. This is another project that I'm stitching along, though, with someone. Here's my most recent start. Maybe I'll show you that next. There's down to just a few project bags left, but I haven't been stitching on these very long, so I'm still getting to know which project bags are in. This is another Mystic Meadow Creations bag. And I believe Maria just has a website, Mystic Meadow creations.com. That's on the label. So this bag holds summer refreshes from Summer House Stitchworks, and I stitched the winter cometh pattern already, and so I'm trying to do this whole series. So my friend Michelle gave me this pattern, and I decided to use DMCs for this one, and I just picked my own colors. These were just some that I liked, a red, a blue, and a green, so it's a little softer than what was called for. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 16 count, no, 18 count Freeze by Atomic Ranch. It's Ada. So I'm actually stitching 2 strands with this one. 2 strands over one. I just like the way 2 strands looks, so I love the fullness of that. I have only stitched on this 2 days, so I feel like it'll be a pretty quick stitch. I'm stitching it with my friend Brooke, Stitch by the Brook. I say that. I don't know if she started hers yet. She was on a epic Alaskan cruise, so I don't know if she's gotten around to starting it just yet. But it's not too late. It's still summer. Okay. I had that in this. Am I telling lies? I already showed you the bag. I had that in this bag. Okay, woo. Can y'all tell I'm getting tired? Now I see why some people split their big floss tube up into 2 videos. Okay, I'm gonna show you my most recent start. Love this. This was a unicorn situation. This is out of print, so don't be mad at me. But I found it, so maybe you can too. And maybe they'll reprint it, because I know they're reprinting some Blackbird charts. This is Evening Shades the Garden by Blackbird Designs. I've seen other people stitch it on Instagram. I just love the black element of this, the border, and that cute little yellow house, and those pretty flowers. I did start this. Haven't cut the fabric yet. Still in the hoop. But I hadn't stitched outside the hoop yet, so I decided to just go ahead and show it to you this way. Here's my 2 needles pulling thread needle minder from my sweet friends Missy and Kathy. Stitching this on buttermilk, 32 count buttermilk by Color and Cotton. And I picked my own colors because I was going to stitch, and guess what? The floss is in my floss tray still. It might even be upstairs. It's been one of those weeks where it's been wild. It's in this adorable fruit bag. I picked this up at Stitch West. I'm so sorry. I don't know who made this bag, but it is so stinking cute. Found the chart. Shoo, I'm all over the place. Found the chart on Etsy. Someone was reselling it. It wasn't crazy overpriced. It was $20. So I was like, woo, it's all mine. I pulled all of the called for flosses. Typically with Blackbird, I just want to use like the called for, because even though they're not necessarily what I would pick, I like the way they turn out. But the color for the house, the called for, is Gentle Arts Brandy. And my brandy is very gold, not a soft pale yellow. So I just decided that when brandy didn't turn out the way I thought, I would just pick my own colors. So I'm picking my own colors. Of course, I'm using black coffee for the black. And I actually did a kit parade. So I think I called out what all those colors were in that kit parade. If you want to go and check that out for another fun, epic fit. It's not actually even epic. It's a 20-minute video. It's a quick summer kit parade. But I called out all those colors on there, and I haven't posted a picture of this on Instagram yet, but I need to. It's so pretty. I'm loving how it's turning out. Did I tell you it's 2 over 2? I didn't. It's 2 over 2. Okay, we're almost down to the end of these spring summer projects. And can you tell that I need a break? I am tired. Okay. We're just going to go in order of what these are. This, oh my gosh. Okay. I'm obsessed with this. This is housed in a Tilda bag that my friend Brooke made for my birthday. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. Love some Tilda fabrics. So this is another project that I picked up while we were at the Tinsmith's Wives. This is Black Horse Inn by Carriage All Samplings. I love like everything about this. It's a big honker of a house. It has my favorite green. It's got horses. I love a good animal. Oh my gosh, it's all the things. Don't you want to go there? I love the clouds. So I decided I wanted to stitch this with silks. I started kitting it up at the Stitch Niche when they were doing their retirement sale with the silks. I pulled like everything that they had. They were having I think 30% off sale. So I was like, okay, I'm going to kit this up. We didn't have everything, but what they didn't have, I ended up going and picking up from the Stitch Niche. No, I already said that. 123 Stitch. So I got the rest of the silks. They're beautiful. They're so soft. Michelle was like, okay, so you're going to stitch this with silks. And I was like, yeah, I should stitch it on 40 count, huh? And she said yes. So I didn't have any 40 count in my stash that was going to work. But Michelle had this piece of white tea from Coloring Cotton, and I think it's perfect. I mean, it is perfect. So she so generously gave it to me. And I'm sitting here like playing with all this floss because it's so soft. The silks are so soft. I want to get to that orange. Where's that? Oh, yes, this color right here. See how I'm a sucker for that orange and that green? Yeah, they're in there. Okay. Teeny tiny start. I got started on the clouds. But this is on 40 count, remember? So I'm stitching it with 1 strand over 2, and I need magnifiers or readers and really, really good light. So that means that this is a daytime stitch. Although I did get to stitch on it while we were at Starbucks, but I was wearing my readers that day. So started it with my friends. Super fun. But I need to get back to this one. Okay. 2 spring summer projects left, and this one is almost finished, and it's just about too long for this board. This is do not know where the project bag is. Yes, I do. I was working on this week. This is a ... goose bag that was given to me. I'm just gonna grin and say, if you know, you know. Cute bee bag from ... goose. And it holds, I'm gonna pop in a picture of this chart because this is not a very great picture. Little House Needleworks Summer ABCs. I want to stitch this whole series. I've stitched the spring one. This was next in line, summer. I did pull my own colors for this, kind of loosely based on what Priscilla from Stitching with the Housewives was doing with hers, although she made some changes to the pattern that I didn't make. And I decided to use black coffee for the letters. So let's see, I'm getting some shadows. Here we go. Made it all the way down to the Z. Put in watermelon. I had stitched this ice cream in white and didn't like it, and so I ripped it out and put it in pink. The ice cream's probably my favorite part. It's probably my favorite part of summer. And watermelon. Because remember I told you summer's kind of unbearable? So, kind of loosely using Priscilla's colors. I think maybe this pink I didn't use. It's Hibiscus by Weeks.Works. So there's some Weeks and some classic Colorworks. It looks like some DMC too. But there's a lot of conversions on this chart. What am I stitching it on, you might ask? This is Milk and Honey. Milk and Honey is 32 count. Whew, getting a lot of shadows. 32 count linen from Fiber on a Whim. And I love this fabric too. I think it's a really pretty neutral. Okay. I have one more project to show you, and then I may have to go and get my ring light because I don't know what is going on. I guess maybe we just have a lot of clouds rolling in. I hope it's not going to storm again. But it got dark. Okay, this is by far the biggest project I'm working on. And we can just all laugh and talk about how whenever I started it, I thought I would have it finished in a year. That's not happened. It is way too big for this project board. Are you ready? You've probably seen it before if you've been watching me long. It lives in this cute bag from Cranberry Bog Cottage. Take the stuff out because the cutest part is the inside of this bag. And they do these cute little wool balls on their zipper pulls. This is the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. I know, it's a honker. And I decided to stitch it with the DMCs, which are over there at my stitching tray. No, I'm telling you, fib, they're right here. This might be the messiest batch of floss there ever lived. Okay, it's a lot of DMCs, okay? And I know, I've been stitching on this for a while, and it's a honker. And so it's not the neatest, tidiest thing. It's not even cute. It's kind of a mess. But they are all floss dropped, and the colors are amazing. Because if you've ever stitched anything by Carriage Samplings or Kathy Barrick, you know she does an incredible job with color. I decided, and I have zero regrets about this, to stitch this on 32 count linen because it's my jam. And I'm stitching it on Latte by Fiber on a Whim, 2/2. Like I said, I'm using the DMCs. I think there is an NPI. The NPIs were what was called for. I decided to stitch mine with the DMCs. No regrets. Like I said, no regrets that I'm stitching it on 32 count either, because I knew I'd be stitching on this for eons. I'm grabbing the board so there's not light coming through the back of this. Okay, so I have 3 completed blocks. The Wednesday block, the Saturday dance, and the big barn block with the 5-legged cat. Have you ever noticed that? Okay, and then I have a good amount of progress on, I said this was going to be the next block I went to, the Tuesday auction block. So worked on that this week. There's my cute little needle minder from Mad for Minders. It's Dr. Pepper. It's so Texas to me. And I've worked a little bit on the Monday barn raising block. So I have the whole thing outlined and pretty good progress. But we're not going to talk about how long I've been stitching this on this already. It was not completed in a year. Okay. All right, I'm taking a pause. I'll be back with fall and Christmas whips shortly. It's time for the fall projects. Okay, I'm so excited because this is by far my favorite season to stitch. And there are some really good whips in here. I don't even know if there's any stinkers. There's some that have been lagging, hanging around a little while. So let's see. Let me grab my notes. Oh my gosh, of course the dogs went out. There are some beautiful project bags, super fun needle minders. There are Halloween whips. There are Thanksgiving whips. There are just fall whips. There is my very favorite project bag. All of them. Okay. In no particular order, but this is one of the whips that I have been working on. I'm sorry, I printed off PDFs of these patterns. So I'm going to pop in a picture because this is not even a good picture. This series is Stitching with the Housewives, the monthly weigh-in series, and I have so far only completed one of these, but it's a super cute series, and I have the little scale. I'll also pop in a picture of that. That was, it's actually what the finishing piece is that Stitching with the Housewives recommended from Paisleys and Polka Dots, and I have all the little doodads, I don't even know what they're called, painted and ready to go. So I need to stitch these. This is the November whip. And I need to grab my board because it's sunny again. Okay, this is the monthly weigh-in series, November. I started with the top, and I did change my colors on these, and I'm stitching this on 28 count Monaco, I believe. The coffee tea dyed. I did grab my own colors. Another nest. This is how I live my life. I've tried to like change my ways, but it doesn't always happen. Okay, so I pulled some color in cotton. It looks like some classic Colorworks. It looks like I did pull some of Priscilla's colors. I have Queen Bee and Wagon Wheel, and I probably just didn't have them all, and so I wanted to just use from stash. So if you're interested in colors, let me know. I've done a lot of color and cotton conversions because I did for a long time have a subscription to their floss club. So I think they've discontinued that now, but they have some beautiful flosses, and I do love to use what I can from stash. So I think for now, this is the only one. No, I also have January in progress. Did I finish that? I guess we'll see when we get to the Christmas whips. But I don't think it's in this bag. But there are all the other charts in here, so I need to get busy on these. Oh my goodness. I'm sitting here thinking, is there a summary one I could start? There's multiple projects in this bag. This is just a cheapy Amazon bag. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not super cute, so I won't spend my time telling you all about it. Okay. The next project, throwing my notes on the floor. I have all kinds of notes because I was being silly. Before I started this, I decided to write down some things. Okay, whew, all over the place. This is in an adorable bag from Sheba Designs. I love this one. I love the hot pink with the bright green and those little like witchy farm animals. I don't know. Okay. This project is actually kitted up pretty cute, so between the project bag and the floss drops that I made. I made these little floss drops out of cardstock. And they're all like Halloween themed. Anyways, the colors on this are really fun. And I think I used mostly the called for colors. Let me tell you what this is. This is a series from Lizzie Kate called Tingles. And it's a series that's, you stitch it up all together, assuming that you want to, or you can stitch them individually, but there were 6 patterns. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 patterns. Each book has 2 patterns in it. That's kind of a mouthful. I started with okay, we had a break for dogs. I don't even know what I was saying. Hopefully I'll be able to edit out all that and you won't hear on any of that nonsense. This is the Lizzie Kate series. I started it with Ghosties and Ghoulies. I'm going to stitch it the big long series, all of the patterns together. I'm stitching mine, I think, with mostly the called for colors, except for I did add in a color. I added in a DMC color. I added this teal color of DMC just because I liked it. So I said these were the called for DMCs, but some of them are DMCs and some of them are Weeks Dye Works. I think I just used what I had in stash, so it's a mix. Some of them are going to be those overdyes, some of them are just the DMCs. And this is my progress. So I have started this on a piece of 32 count hay bale medium from Color and Cotton. It's 32 count linen, and I'm really loving the colors on this. And I'll get back to all these whenever fall comes. I'm a seasonal stitcher, so I just love to stitch when it's in season. And I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier and make a pile of these so that I can take some fun pictures for you so I can post them on Instagram, because I have been super behind on Instagram. Life has been busy. I'll tell you, I took a design job and I haven't been working for a while. I took some time off while I was homeschooling our son, and so now that summer has come, I've taken on a job. I helped a client that was moving. So it's been taking me away and keeping me from my usual stitching. Okay, the next project is also in a Sheba Designs bag. Love this one. I love these little A-frame houses. I love all the colors in this. This is Tiny Modernist Autumn Tradition Sampler. And I am going to stitch this whole series. I started this as a stitch along with my friend Krista, the Wildflower Stitcher. And we're using the hashtag Winter Traditions Sampler SAL. I saw, I think maybe it was a Seattle stitcher I saw stitching this first and just kind of fell in love with it. I think she was stitching it before it had become like a printed chart. She was stitching it out of a magazine. So I think it's the series, maybe just this one, is also featured in Just CrossStitch magazine, I think. I don't know. I think that's true. Okay, so I love it so much. I decided to stitch mine on a piece of 32 count Michelle by Grace Notes Fabrics. Look at me, not even using my notes, just straight out of my memory. And I'm using the called for DMCs, although I did substitute black coffee and grits. Is that true? Just grits. I substituted grits because the black that's in this is actually not 310. It's $37.99. So it's not, the colors are really fun. It's got some bright yellows and some oranges. I just love all the colors. So Called for flosses, but I did change the white to grits. I just prefer stitching with it, and yeah, it's coming along. I think I'm halfway. I think that's true. I think I kind of broke it up into 4 sections, although I do still need to stitch the words in the middle, but definitely we'll get back to this one. I have already started the winter traditions sampler. I also went to start the summer. It just came out, and I think I have the spring too. Is that true? Did the spring one just come out and I already have the summer? I don't know. I need to go dig through my kits. Oops, I'm not supposed to be folding these. I'm supposed to be leaving these all neatly ironed so I can take pictures. You guys, tap me on the glass. Remind me what we're doing. I was also trying to not do a bunch of zippers. Whew, it's like I took a break, I walked away, and then I forgot what in the heck I was doing. Okay, this is a Brenda Gervais pattern in a really cute bag. The bag is from Straight from the Heart by Sue from the Color and Cotton shop. So this one is called Bobbing for Pumpkins. Pretty sure I was influenced by Priscilla Blaine, Stitching with the Housewives, on this one. I think she was stitching quite a few of these many years ago. And I just fell in love with it. I'm stitching mine on a piece of hazelwood by Fiber on a Whim. 32 count, and that is the called for, but she says to stitch it with 1 strand of floss, so I'm stitching it with 1/2, and I like it, but I don't love stitching with 1 strand, so I'm trying to power through. I mean, I'm a good halfway, right? Maybe not. That cauldron's not in there, but that one dress, that was a lot of stitching right there. So I'm not using all the called for flosses because I kitted this up at I have a note here. I kitted it up at Stitch Niche, and they wrote the color conversion for me because they didn't have all of the called fors. So it looks like I have a mix of weak Styleworks, classic Colorworks. Looks like I have 1 color and cotton in here. Yeah. But I think I used something similar to what was called for, but it may not be exact. Like, it looks like I'm using Onyx instead of Carriage Black, Swamp Water instead of Wood Trail. I'm not sure. It's written down so I don't forget. But if you, I don't think it's that crazy different from what is pictured. So, but if you just really want to know, message me. I'll be happy to tell you. Okay, I'm gonna remember what I'm doing. We're gonna take pictures. Oh, this makes me want to get to fall so bad. Now I'm trying to look outside and just be thrilled that there are pretty flowers out there in bloom. Cute bag from Cranberry Bog Cottage. It has these funny little rabbits in hot air balloons. I just thought that was quirky and fun. You know what this needs to be used for? This needs to be a Kathy Barrett project needs to go in here because her stuff is just quirky and fun. What is in here are actually 2 patterns from Plum Street, Boris, and Olga. One's a cat, one's a dog. They're Halloween colors. It is a sampler very similar to the very first one I stitched. I don't think that I'm using the called for colors. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I am. Looks like there's some weak Styleworks here and a couple of DMCs. Who knows? This was a very long time ago when I started this. It was actually Mania 2022, 2021. I don't know, a very long time ago. And I don't even know what this fabric is. It looks like it's just a piece of white linen from Charles Craft. This is not going to work. I literally have one letter on here. One. So this is definitely my puniest start. And yeah, boring. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll get back to this, and is it even worth taking a picture of that? I guess it is. So I can go back and see how far I've come next year. Okay, this next whip, you're gonna be like, why didn't you just finish that? And that's how I'm feeling too. This is in a cute little bag with turkeys on it from the Stitch Niche. Look how organized I was. So, I say that sarcastically. I really was. It looks like I really am organized. It looks like, I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. Let me tell you what this is. This is Uber Turkey by Bent Creek Designs. And I had bought this at Silver Needle because I saw the sample hanging on the wall there, and it was so cute, the model. And I decided I want to stitch that big. So I decided to stitch it on 10 count. Tula? Is that what this fabric is called? I believe so. I believe this colorway is Vintage Country Mocha. Look at this, how far I am on this turkey. There's literally hardly anything left. And I decided, so since I'm stitching it on 10 count, I was debating whether I wanted to do pearl cottons or if I just wanted to do 6 strands of DMC. So I decided to do the 6 strands of DMC. So this is stitched with 6 strands. Holy smokes. And I believe they're all the called for colors. Looks to be. Why did I not finish this? Because it must have been getting close to Christmas, and I was like, okay, well, I'll put it away and I'll finish it next year. But man, I really wish I had this turkey all framed to put up and display this year. Framed? No. I think I might make a big giant pillow out of it. What do you think? What would you do with him? Don't fold it, Lisa. Put it in the pile to take a picture. Oh, he's so cute. I love him so much. Okay, this is another really puny start. But this is going to be a very cute project. And listen, do you hear that? There are beads in this bag. This is a cute bag from, I believe, Stitchy Sassenach, out of the Teresa Kogut fabric. This isn't, don't be mad at me, okay? This is another project that is out of print. But I found the chart and I didn't have to overpay for it. This is from Mill Hill, and I think this was a big old book initially, if I remember right, when I researched it the first time. But then I think they also just did the individual patterns. So I found this on the marketplace, not marketplace, but one of the D-Stash groups on Facebook. This is called We Gather Together, and look how stinking cute it is. I love it so much. I love it so much. But you heard me say the word Mill Hill. Remember how I said I don't like to bead? I know, I said that. But the beads on this are what make it, because the Native Americans, they have the beaded headdresses. And so I'm going to have to power through it. I have all of the DMCs. There are a lot. And it's been folded and in a project bag for quite a little while. So I remember I decided to get this out and start it on Native American Heritage Day. Is that true? I think it is. Last year. And I've been collecting some of the Mill Hill, what do you call these? No, I decided that instead of the Mill Hill, it calls for these little glass, for lack of a better word, they're not really buttons. They're like little, what do they call them? Treasures. So Mill Hill makes these treasures, and they're like beads and you attach them. But I decided I was going to look for these Jabco elements to use instead. So I've started gathering some of these to put in place, like, see where he's holding the pumpkin? So we'll see how that turns out. But this is a pathetic start. And I started this on a piece of raw linen. It's 32 count raw linen. I guess what's boring to me about it is just it's the border, but it doesn't have any of like, it doesn't look fall. I think that's where I'm struggling, is like it looks Christmas because of that red. So perhaps I need to stitch an acorn or a pumpkin. It'll take a long time to get down to the pumpkins, but it's going to be super fun. So I've collected up the beads. Yep, need to get back to this one. Puny start. It's not as puny as the other one, is it? That one little letter. I don't know. It's pretty puny. A start is a start. Is that what they say? It's in a cute bag. Okay. The next project I love. I absolutely love it. It is in a adorable bag with these little pumpkins and cats, black cats. It was from Stitch Knitch. There is a witch. Oh, she's upside down. Hold on, please. Hold, please. A wooden witch needle minder that I got from Mad for Minders. She was meant for this project. This is Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studio. Fell in love with this. Saw the model at Stitch Knitch. Had to stitch it. Hunted and hunted and hunted for murky. I wanted to stitch it on the called for murky, but I couldn't find a piece that was like the right shades of murky because I wanted to stitch mine on 32 count. So eventually I was actually at StitchCon in their big, maybe I was at the shop, went to Keepsakes. I think that's what happened. And I found this piece of Haunted by Seraphim. It's 32 count linen, and it's perfect because it has the purple in it and the greens and all the colors. And I love this Quaker so much, and I did not want to put this down. Oh, isn't it so good? Okay, there is an entire skein of black coffee in this motif right here. I'm pretty sure. I'm not lying about that. Okay, so I did change a couple things. I did use mostly the called for colors, but I kitted this up partially at Color and Cotton. And I decided that I wanted to use some of their like bright Halloween colors. It looks like I have grits. Not sure if that was called for. But I have salamander and chestnuts roasting. And I think these like brighter, oh, this one, Purple People Eater by Color and Cotton. And there's a green, Avocado. And this is Sargasso Sea. So it looks like all the colors I used Color and Cotton. And then the neutrals I used the called for. So Black Coffee, 310, and Blackbird. And I believe also Smoke. These are the classic Colorworks. So that's the gray one. Hopefully that's going to show up. Am I already using that? Yeah, I think I am. But the Purple People Eater is the one that just super pops. It's what I used on the hat. Oh, it's so good. I had a lot of fun stitching on this last year. I remember taking it with us. We went to Michigan for Halloween, and we went to trick or treat and just hang out and spend some time. We went to Michigan football game. It was like So much fun. Like I kind of want to do it again this year. Maybe my sister-in-law will have us again. Okay, another super cute bag. This one is made by my friend Tracy, OG Stitchery. And I am stitching along with her on this. She may have forgotten that we're stitching along on it, but we are. It has a really cute wooden needle minder from Mad for Minders. It says, "Fall in love." I will fall in love. This is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. And I have wanted to stitch this for a long time. I saw a big group of people started it one year at StitchCon. And I was like, ooh, I want to stitch that too. Let's put the needle minder back on it. So I decided to stitch mine, or I kitted mine up on 32 count Dove by Color and Cotton. And I think I started this kind of late in the season. So I was already kind of getting in the like Christmas spirit. So I didn't get all that far, but I love that border and I love this piece of fabric. Isn't it pretty? It's going to be so good. So I think, if I remember right, I just kitted this up with the called fors. Yeah, it looks like they're mostly Gentle Arts, or all Gentle Arts. Oh, and they're just like the epitome of fall. It's the oranges, the browns, the reds, the golds. Can you tell I love fall most of all? It's true. Let me show you these flosses on the fabric. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so that's it for fall. I'm gonna take quick pictures of all the fall things and then I'm gonna do Christmas. I'm back because I forgot to show you something so important. A fall project that I adore and I have been working on very consistently for a long time. And it's in an adorable bag, a penny and toonie bag. It's getting dark outside. I was editing the video and I was like, wait a minute. I totally forgot to show them some things. Teresa Kogut fabric for a Teresa Kogut project. It's Hello Halloween. The book has tons and tons of projects in it. I am stitching this giant sampler. I'm gonna have to put in a picture probably. I've been editing. I'll be editing for a while. It's a lot. I had a lot to show you. This is I call it Halloween sampler. It's like the biggest project in the book by far. I am stitching it on a piece of 20 count Ada from Under the Sea in the color Properly Primitive. It was definitely jumping off point for me. So it is 20 count, so I'm stitching it 1/1. Blanco, don't do this now. Come here. Blanco wants to P-L-A-Y. I'm not even gonna say it. It's baseball time in Texas, and when it's baseball time in Texas, we sit and we have fun in the floor. And I don't want to say the P-L-A-Y word, but he wants me to come back to our game that we were playing. I needed to record this real quick before it's pitch dark. This I've been working on consistently on the 13th and the 31st of each month for a while. And I'll probably crank it up when it gets into the Halloween season. Maybe even sooner because I'm making some pretty good progress. I feel like I'm getting closer day by day, right? So since my last Flosstube, I put in this whole fence row, but there is a lot of good progress on this. There's a lot of repetition in this. I am using all the called for flosses. They are mostly Weeks Dye Works. There are also some DMCs. So here are the flosses. They don't look terribly ratty. I told y'all I'm not the neatest stitcher in the world. I started off with like great intentions and I want everything to look pretty, but I don't keep up with it to make it look that way. Okay. So the other thing that I totally forgot to show you, and I actually mentioned it during the video, and I was like, did I finish that? I actually said it in the video. I was like, because this is a series. This is the January monthly weigh-in. The one with the adorable snowman. Remember this? Maybe you don't. Maybe this is your first time watching me and you're like, no, lady, I don't remember it. I am not the best editor, but I will edit out my dog barking as best I can. Okay, so this is the Stitching with the Housewives pattern January monthly weigh-in. And I am stitching mine on, what is this? This is, of course, so this was not in a project bag. I must have robbed the project bag and thrown out the flosses and everything. I have a big ring of floss for Stitching with the Housewives projects. It's got like every classic Colorworks Priscilla has ever called for, I think. So I'm using the call for flosses on this, but I'm stitching it on a piece of, I want to say this is just a limited edition Color and Cotton Lugana, I think. Anyways, it's turning out super cute. Look at those little red birds, the little red wheelbarrow, snowflakes. There's another snowman that I'm building right here. So, okay. It's time for Christmas whips. Can you say Christmas and not sing? I don't know. Maybe you can. I don't think I can. Christmas and winter. And then we're finished. And this has been epic. Epic long. Okay. I have to get my act together and remember what was in what bag. What was where and what was in what bag. And try not to bang all the things. Okay, so the first winter whip is in this really cute bag that I think I got from Stitch Knitch, probably. Looks like I have a needle hiding out in here. Cute bag though. This is Snowman Quaker from the Camping Stitcher, which was gifted to me from my friend Missy. And we started this as a table at Stitch Away. It was perfect because it was snowing and, you know, I started mine on this piece of limited edition 32 count Lugana by Color and Cotton. And I used this floss, tinsel, from Color and Cotton. So it's not actually white, it's actually kind of a like pewtery tan, but I think it shows up really well and it looks like snow to me. So I just need a snow day so that I can finish this. Stitching at 2/2. Let it snow. You know I'm ready for some snow about right now. It's hot. My little air conditioner is just going and going and going. Oh, I wasn't supposed to fold these up. I'm supposed to take pictures. You would think that by now I would have the routine down, but I don't. Okay. I think most of the rest of these are Christmas. This one I know is housed in this cute bag made by me and Brooke. Brooke helped make this bag. And it's a sal with my friends, Krista and Brooke. And I know a lot of people are stitching this, but it is beautiful. We kitted this up and started it in Missouri at Cecilia's Samplers. It's Peace and Goodwill by Brenda Gervais. I will probably pop in a picture of that, but it is lovely. And I am stitching mine on a piece of 32 count seraphim linen called Antique Lace with the called for flosses. And I think we split these is what we decided to do. We went through, I think it's a mix of Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colorworks, and DMCs. But yeah, since all three of us were stitching it, we bought the flosses, and then Krista had the great idea for us to just split them up so we didn't have to spend so much on floss. And believe it or not, this actually really is showing up really well. I was a little worried about it. There, at that angle right there, you can see. And I love stitching these Quakers. Just love them. And I love this piece of fabric. It's perfect. Just perfect. Okay, not putting it all away. I'm going to take pictures. We got this. We're down to the very end. Notice I'm not putting the projects on the floor because my back is tired. Okay, this is another Lizzie Kate situation. It is in a really cute bag. It's buffalo check. If you know me, you know I love a good buffalo check. And I got this at Stitch Niche, I'm pretty sure. And it's got little barns and a little Christmas scene. The little trucks, the snowman. This is, oh, and I have all the buttons, it looks like, or some of the buttons. I'm not sure what that situation is. This is Christmas Rules by Lizzie Kate, and it's another one of those series, 6 charts with two patterns per, and you put it all together as like a little sign. And I'm stitching mine on, no surprise, Bramble, 32 count Bramble by Pictures Plus, with I think a mix of called for colors and like what I had in stash, but pretty much like the picture, like stitching it like the picture. I know I used some color and cotton flosses here. I can see them. I think the bright pink and the greens. The red is Jolly Suit. It's really pretty. So it's similar to what's called for, but maybe a little brighter with the color and cotton flosses. And I need to finish this because it is super cute. And I have the Halloween one all finished. And they go pretty fast. Did I tell you that's 2 over 2? Probably not. I probably got like all, I was thinking about all these flosses and what a little bit of a rat's nest situation is. I don't know how you avoid it. I think it just happens. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just messy. It's okay to tell me that I am. I think I kind of know. Pretty colors though. And we'll get back to that. Do you guys do Christmas in July? I'm thinking about maybe picking one spooky project to focus on because I know Tara Sullivan, I think, was doing a spooky summer hashtag, and I saw some people stitching, and I was like, now that's something I could get on board with because I don't know, it's just so hot here that it's hard for me to get into like a Christmas spirit because honestly, I'm just like gritting my teeth because I want it to be Christmas and it's not. So I don't know though, maybe I'll pick one project to focus on for Christmas in July and do one spooky summer. Okay, this is a joke. This is a tiny start. Can you even tell what this is? No, you cannot. I know it's a Mill Hill situation. It's in a cute bag that I got from a retreat. I think this was from the Stitching with the Housewives retreat in Greenwood, Indiana. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. I think that's right. So this is a Mill Hill Santa. I think he's so stinking cute. Southwest Santa. Desert Santa. He has a donkey. And again, it's the beads and it's like the Southwest thing. And I know, I've said like 10 times in this video, I don't like to be here. But I just love this. And I struggled at first because when I first started this kit, you know how Mill Hill is, it didn't have the floss labeled. And so I took it apart and I put everything on floss drops and I labeled the greens, medium green, light green, dark green, bright green. Yeah, that's where there was some confusion. So as you can see, the perforated paper is still in here because I was at Silver Needle whenever I saw this and there was this piece of fabric here that I just really liked the texture of it. And I don't know what this is. It's like burlap, but it's soft. It's not like crunchy. But I thought I wanted to stitch him on this instead and maybe make him like stuffed, like the animal crackers. I don't know. And I don't even know if I have enough floss to do that because I'm stitching it with more than one strand, it looks like. And I'm like, is that what the instructions told me to do? No idea. You can tell this is really high on my priority list. I do think it's adorable. Maybe a friend will help me and hold my hand. And we can Mill Hill together. Oh, it does say to use 3 strands. So is that normal for a Mill Hill on perforated paper? Maybe. Certain colors it says 2, the rest of them 3. One of them it says 6. That'll be super puffy. Oh, that's the beard. That makes sense. Do you know what I just did? Zipped it up and put it away, and you know why? Because that's not even hardly worth photographing. I mean, that is pathetic, but maybe that's what I need. Maybe that's what will hold me accountable, is that if I, you know, go to confession and show you all these things. Maybe. Okay, this is another cute bag from Penny and Toonie. It's a little village scene. I think it's adorable. Oh, different project. This is, I'll just show it anyways. We'll just swap these. This is Little House Needleworks. Farmhouse Christmas is what it is. It's a series of 9 patterns. I am not stitching it in the 9 patch configuration, which is super cute, but I wanted it to look like a village. So I'm stitching it all like straight. I think I'm using some of the called for colors. I think it's kind of a mix. Looks like DMCs and some, looks like Color and Cotton Picket Fence is the white. Ivy from Color and Cotton, Cherry Cobbler. I don't know. There's some classic Colorworks here and then there's some DMCs, but it's turning out super cute. And I'm stitching it on 32 count raw linen and I love it. I love the way, like everything about it. So, and these went pretty fast. So I've got 3 of the 8 because I'm not going to do the quilt block because it doesn't make sense in a village, but it's cute and it would be a cute ornament. So need to get back to that. Gonna take a picture of it, not putting it away. I actually think some of these I did take really good pictures of and I just never posted them. Instagram, I love it. I love to sit in, but sometimes I don't get around to doing the picture part. Like I just want to browse. 2 adorable charts from my friend Emily Call that I started last year and I need to finish. And the reason why I didn't finish them is because there's a boo-boo in this one. And I'm trying to just work around it. This is Joy to the World. It's so cute. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Night Sky, I think, by Fiber on a Whim. Oh, I love it. Look how I cut this out. Don't actually look at that. That's a mess. It's so cute, the nativity, and I love the colors. I didn't use the called fors. I just kind of went off the picture, but I used some colored cotton from Stash, mainly because it's small, and I just wanted to use up what I had in Stash, but it's so cute. I think what I got off is really not a big deal, and I just need to power through and keep going. Okay, the other one from Emily Call that's also in this bag. And this piece of linen is even scrappier. Why I haven't cut this off, I don't know. Because it was Christmas and I was in a hurry. This is Be Merry by Emily Call. And her charts are all up on Etsy. And I just PDF download them and print them, and it's really great. Super cute little charts. These are going to be, this one is going to be a dough bowl filler for sure. Be Merry. And I did, again, went off the chart, like the picture, but picked my own colors. Oh, it's so cute. It's coming right along. But yeah, don't mind how it's on a scrap. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to use up your scraps on small double things. Let's don't talk about the margins either, because I started getting a little panicky whenever I got this out and ironed it. I was like, boy, I know it was, you know, Christmas, but you were really cutting it close there. I actually did have the floss like on cute rings and stuff. I didn't even show you the bag. This bag is adorable. My friend Michelle Burt made this. Making it with Michelle. How cute is this? Just put this cute little zipper pull on it. Adorbs. This project is in a cute little Santa bag. Don't know where I got this one. I'm thinking it was Stitch Niche, but I'm not sure. This is Hilltop Village in winter, and I have this whole series. No, I don't. I have some of this series. Here I am telling lies at the end of the video. I'm stitching this on 14 count Vanilla Cream Ada by Volcano. And I just pulled my own colors. I pulled from Stash, kind of like what was pictured in the chart, but just what I had on hand. It's fun, and it was a fun stitch. It is a fun stitch. I'm not done. I need winter to come so I can stitch on these things. Whew, y'all, I am so hot right now. Is it hot where you are? I feel bad for people that are not used to the heat and they're dealing with like extremely hot temperatures. Okay. Uh-oh. Low power mode. Gotta get this done quick. This is another adorable bag made by me. Michelle Burt taught me how to make this along with Elizabeth Ann can stitch. Michelle taught me the piecing method, and the rest of the bag is Elizabeth Ann can stitch tutorial. Oh my goodness. Do I love this fabric? Yes, I love this fabric so much. Last year at Jingle Ball, everybody was doing it, and I was like, okay, count me in. Erin Elizabeth Believe. I'm going to put a picture in of the chart because it's in plastic, and now I'm using the ring light, and so we've got glare. So what fabric is this? Can I tell you what fabric this is? It's lovely, isn't it? I think the sticker came off. Am I really down to the last two projects and I don't know the name of this fabric? It's a Picture This Plus fabric. I think it's Haunted. 32 count, pretty sure. And I'm stitching it with grits. I do know that. Weeks Dye Works grits is my floss. It's coming along. And again, it just needs to snow. The last time I worked on this, I was in the mountains on a ski trip. But I can't stitch snow when it's a billion degrees outside because it makes me crabby. And that's the truth. Don't fold it up. We're gonna take pictures. Okay. I don't know if I saved the best for last. I'm cracking myself up because I couldn't figure out that this was in the deer bag, but duh. This is also a project bag made by me. I kind of forgot I made this. I've made a lot of bags in the last year. Thank you, Brooke and Michelle, for teaching me how to make bags. Okay, this is also a stitch along, a Sal. This is Winter Traditions Sampler by Tiny Modernist, and I'm stitching it with Krista, the Wildflower Stitcher. We're gonna do hashtag Winter Traditions Sampler SAL. So if you wanna join us, it's not too late. I have a small start on this. What am I stitching this on? I am stitching this on, so I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I ordered some lovely fabric from 123 Stitch. These are Picture This Plus fabrics. I know that. This is ale. It's 32 count ale is what it is. But they put these little stickers on the back, and then those little stickers, they come off. So then I need to write this stuff down. I know. And I probably do have it written down somewhere. But at any rate, it's being stitched on Picture This Plus ale. Kitted it up with cute floss drops, and they're all the DMCs that are called for. I think I did substitute grits. Let's see. Yeah, this is grits. The rest are going to be the called for DMCs, and aren't these fun? They're very bright colors for winter. I don't know why I haven't picked this back up. I just haven't. But I started down there in the corner, maybe just because it's Christmassy and it needs to be cold. But I started down in the corner because I wanted to stitch the deer. And isn't he cute? He's adorable. This can be lovely. And I'm enjoying this series. And like I said, I want to stitch the spring and summer ones. So maybe I need to pull that out, even though that really wasn't in the plans. I would love to see what it looks like after people finish their WIP parades. I could fall on the floor. I'm so tired. I need a snack. I need some ice cream, I think. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for bearing with me and all my craziness. I just realized that I never plugged in the microphone for the last portion of this video, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it turned out okay. Can you tell I'm ready to take these pictures? I am. I need to just stay with you for just a minute and tell you thank you again for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber if you are. If you're not, I'd love for you to be a subscriber. Come back and see me on a regular Flosstube. They're not 2 hours long. They're not epic, but we always have a good time. I always have a good time, and I'm always enjoying my hobby, my cross stitch. Is there anything else I need to say? I don't think so. If you're on Instagram, I'd love to have you follow me over there, Black Coffee and Grits. And if you hung out and saw all this craziness, tell me what was your favorite WIP. Maybe something inspired you. Maybe you're going to stitch along with me. I'd love to know. Send me a little comment. Happy stitching, friends. Bye.